there is such a thing as evil and evil people, and they need punishing, that we can take revenge on people that have hurt us, seems to me to be bubbling up again as a story that we are telling as a society, that externalizing evil into the other rather than acknowledging it as a deep condition of the human heart and a temptation that we're all prone to. Is it more live, or am I just hearing it more loudly? What do you think?
It's such an interesting question. I suspect that it has always been there. I think that the wish to other somebody and locate badness in somebody else, and then enjoy attacking them because of it, has been there throughout human history. And I think it's there in John 8 with the story of the adulterous woman. These men are so excited about the prospect of stoning her to death. And then it all kind of fades away. And there's just a woman and Jesus. And I don't condemn you, but go and do something different. And I think the very strong wish to make yourself feel better by making somebody else feel bad is, that is part, I think, of the human condition, or in terms of our capacity for evil. Thomas Aquinas said we have a disposition both to evil and to goodness. And I think our disposition to evil often starts from the idea that I'll make myself feel good by making somebody else look bad. And I think that has to be resisted. Now, of course, you don't need our religious discourse to make this real or valid. But I think it is interesting that across history, human history, it has been religious and theological discourses or discourses of spirituality that have invited us to examine our own hearts before we go judging other people's. And that's very important. Interestingly, you could almost argue that it's important evolutionarily wise, because we need to live in groups. We are group animals by biology, if you like to talk that kind of talk. There are quite a lot of evolutionary thinkers in psychology and psychiatry, and I have some sympathy with the idea that we are a kind of we are a primate like gorillas and chimpanzees. We are group animals. We have to live in groups. We have to be mindful of other people's minds, and we have to be able to also to ride a boundary between our own minds and the minds of others. And judging each other. I mean, you talk about this beautifully in your book, actually, about the negotiation of boundaries and rules. When a group of people come to live together, there has to be negotiation, and that negotiation is not always comfortable. And negotiating conflict and negotiating the negative feelings that go with conflicts and disagreements and jealousies and anger and deprivation, all those kind of human stuff, that's about taking our own minds seriously, but also the minds of others. And they all have to be real. And the worry the worry that I have about saying those people over there are terrible and we over here are great, is that it's not very real. It's not reality based. So, I mean, there was a marvelous example of this, on the radio the other week. Somebody did an article about the recent riots and the recent horrible riots. And they were a BBC reporter who'd gone down to cover the riots. And some of the rioters saw them and said, "Oh, they're from the BBC. That means they're paedophile scum." So kind of, the worst thing you could possibly say to anybody, very ordinary journalists, are paedophile scum. And that's kind of meaningless, but it's a meaningless offense, but it's meant to say, you are people, we hate you, but it's not very realistic. It's not like they have done anything except come and do what they're meant to be doing, but there's something a bit mad about it. truthfully. And I use that word advisedly because there is that
qualified
about
to use it.
Yeah, well, madness is about a failure of reality testing, and reason. Reason and reality and truth are crucial here.